Good morning, wildlings. Your happy, autistic, fae healer person here. I'm having a huge amount of epiphanies this week, and I don't know how everybody's feeling in this energy or in this time. I know my spiritual people are going to be talking about eclipse season, and I know that my sciencey thinker people are going to be thinking about the economy and all of those things. It's all the same. I've had a huge amount of epiphanies, and the more that I heal my brain and the more that I allow myself to live divergently, like today, I kept myself to a very strict schedule and I did my things exactly the way I need to do them. And then I sat down and wrote 8 pages for my new book and had a major epiphany about what divergents need. And my brain seriously feels like it's on fire. Like I feel like I have access to parts of my brain that I have never had access to. It's actually been quite magical. And the more that I allow myself to do this and the more that I stand in that power, because let me tell you, all of the information that I was gathering in the spiritual community for over a decade is all right. Like, there's truth in it. There is, like, if you meditate, you regulate your nervous system, which calms me down, which grounds me, which puts me to a place where I can actually not feel like I'm in fight or flight all the time. So spirituality got me so far. It got me to a place where I was able to regulate my body enough to understand something else was going on. So all of the spiritual people that have left in floods, you went a little too soon, because I am spiritually connected. I am connected in ways that I think we're probably just starting to understand. And what I'm starting to understand is when I allow myself to fully be in my divergence and allow myself to seek the things my brain thrives on. So if I research scientific information, if I research what's going on in my body and my brain lights up. Like, it becomes so happy and so joy-filled. It literally puts me into autistic joy. And if you didn't know what autistic joy is, it's this place where we can go where DMT, and I always get the actual word of it's like bofentamine or something. There is a drug in our brains, and when we get to that level, it's euphoric. That's what autistic joy is. And you have all seen me for the past decade in autistic joy when I'm doing mediumship, because I'm allowing my brain to go to that level and that place where it is completely and utterly happy. And that's how I started to heal my brain over a decade ago. I slowed my life down and I started to use the tools in spirituality that are very much the same tools in psychology, if you don't know. You know, deep breathing and centering yourself and putting your thoughts in a box and putting them away until you can. It's all psychology. You know, Carl Jung was the psychologist, right? Like, he used tarot cards and he used trance and he used all of these things to allow himself to see. And I wouldn't be surprised, I don't know, I haven't done any research on it, but Carl Jung was probably autistic, because I think he was probably going to that place. And I've now looked back at all the people that I researched or all the people that I followed spiritually had some sort of trance-like experience, this euphoric experience in their magic or in their, like, you know, teachings. And as I start to sit here and allow my brain to create those reconnections and fire up, you know, me going to the woods fires me up. Me watching the birds fly by in my bathing suit fires me up. And when I allow myself to do this more, the more my brain heals and the more I'm able to access those parts of my brain that I was never able to access as a child or even the majority of my adult life. So I have these big surges of new neurotransmitters being connected. And I previously thought that was attunement and spiritual upgrades. And I would tell you, oh, I have to take a salt bath because my body's aching. And I would tell you, oh, gosh, my old soul is dying and I can feel it. And the spiritual community uses words that we can understand. Come on, Freya, up you get. Come on, up you get. Come on. I know you don't like black things. It's a weird, if there's something black on the couch, she won't sit on it. It's such a weird thing. Anywho, and Freya is part of my healing too, and I'll get into that. I wrote about it today, but our autistic minds can do these amazing things. And when you allow it to do these amazing things, it comes up with amazing solutions. So this week I realized that I am the healer that lives at the edge of a city, that heals her community, and I receive things as payment. And what's the best way to do that? It's literally Amazon, people. And I used to fight Amazon, and I, as a store owner, it like offended me personally that people were buying things off of Amazon. But then I realized that the universe is just a massive game. It's a game that once you learn how to play it and once you find your place in this magical giant game, because I'll tell you, my brain loves to play Tetris. You want to see Emma in an autistic high and like confident? Put Tetris in my hands. I love to organize things. That is how I stim. One of my OCD traits is why I have to sit here and look at trees. Because if I sit anywhere else and look at something that isn't organized to my liking, if I go to Chapters and have a coffee and I'm staring at a wall of books, I am reorganizing and perfecting that display the whole entire time I'm there in my brain. My brain never rests, so I have to force it to rest. And I have learned all of these ways to force my brain to rest. I put in my stories that autistic brains don't actually make melatonin. So if you think you're relating to anything that I say and you haven't slept well your entire life, like me, start taking at least 10 milligrams of melatonin a night and see how it changes your life. And once you start sleeping and once your brain starts getting rid of all of that excess funk that our brain needs to do when it goes into deep REM sleep that we don't actually get as autistics. And are you an autistic that doesn't dream? It's not that we don't dream. We dream fucking wild dreams, let me tell you. But if you're not getting REM, you can't remember them. This is all stuff that my brain is connecting now that it's healing. And all of that wisdom the 98% vocabulary and the 90 or 80, I can't remember what the numbers are. I actually have to look at the thing. But my intelligence is very high. But when I am dysregulated, I have zero access to any of that intelligence in my brain. Listen up, parents of autistic kids. Learn to regulate your children's emotions, which means you have to learn to regulate your emotions. And then your house will become a happier place, and your kid will start to feel safe, and everybody will start to be regulated. And then they will actually be able to access all of the information in their brains. White male autistics thrive in this society because we allow men to be eccentric, because we allow men to be arrogant. Autistic white men are severely privileged, and you're seeing the results of it in our society right now. Elon Musk was a privileged autistic kid that was allowed to let his brain just light on fire because he was abundant, because he had access to wealth and nobody ever told him no. And that is why he was able to create the things that he made. But he didn't learn how to regulate his emotions. So he is an egomaniac, narcissistic asshole because nobody ever told him he couldn't do those things. I didn't get that opportunity because I didn't have the same access to wealth or abundance. So I just had to be in fight or flight my entire life. And what you saw before now was me in fight or flight my entire life. And if you feel like your life is always on fire and you have no fire left inside of you, it's because you've been in fight or flight your entire life and you are just in a constant cycle of burnout. So I want to teach everyone on this planet, not just the divergent thinkers, but mostly the divergent thinkers, how to get out of fight or flight, how to heal your nervous system, and how to learn how to regulate your emotions so your brains can light up and you, for the first time in your life, can burn bright. Fuck, man, that little bit of channeling is all because I followed my daily ritual and I allowed my brain to heal in the way that it needs to heal. And now I have access to all of the intelligence inside of my brain, and I am doing things that I never imagined. There are going to be courses, there are going to be books, there are going to be... And this time, I actually have access to the wisdom and grounding in my body to make it a success. I can actually, in my brain, go, wait a second, I know a person that does A, B, C, D, F, and they actually owe me a favor. So, hey, let's make this a reciprocal thing. Let me ask for the things I need, and then you go to my wish list and you buy them, and then I actually can live a divergent life and be successful in the way that I need it. Not like anybody else is doing, but in a divergent way. So if you learned anything from this video, click on the link in my bio that says wish list and purchase something off of it that feels right for you. If it's a $2 item, it's a $2 item. If it's a $200 item, it's a $200 item. It's up to you. And this is the new economy. I give you information that helps you in your life, and you support me in ways that I need to be supported. I need to feel abundant. I need to be able to live the divergent life. I need to be able to smoke my cannabis. I need to be able to sit here and stare at a forest for me to thrive. That is what I need. And I know, because I know that now, I can actually ask for it. I know what I need for the first time in my life because I regulated my emotions. And I am feeling safe for the first time in my life because I can speak my truth. And I know why all of this felt so goddamn hard. So if you don't want to feel like you're burning yourself out in a constant cycle, or if you want to feel like you can actually use the information in your brain and know how to get it out there in the world, follow along. And when you're having an abundant day, hop on my wish list. And when I'm having an abundant day, I'll hop on your wish list. And we can support ourselves divergently in a divergent way. When you know what you need, you can ask for it. But so many of us don't know what we need because we have been told that we are neurotypical our entire lives, and we're actually neurodivergent. And a divergent brain needs different things. So follow along and find out what those things are, because I am going to share them for free. And then if you feel like you are abundant, you can support me in whatever way you need to support me. And I'm going to give you options. So check out all the links in my bio. And I'll talk to you soon, wildlings, because we need to go live wildly. Let's unite and burn down the old system and build a new one. Bye, wildlings.